So this is a little video about mental strategies for addition and subtraction. We'll do other stuff on those formal algorithms, but this is the stuff when you're down at the shops and you're trying to just do it in your head quickly. This is not approximation, this is coming up with exact answers to questions where we can just work through the numbers in our head. So if I look at the first one, adding place values, all I'm doing is taking each place value, so the 2 units, the 2 and the 4 in the units, then the 3 and the 2 in the tens, and the 5 and the 3 in the hundreds. And when I look at these, I should be able to go through and just work my way through it. So if I've got 300 and 500, I'm looking at 800, and I'm just going to keep that in my head for a moment, but I'll write it down here so that we can see what I'm thinking. So I'm keeping 800 in my head. 800, then I go the 20 and the 30, that's 50. So 850, and the 4 and the 2 is 6. So I can say 856, but what's the problem with this method? Well, it falls down as soon as the 2 numbers go above the 10. So if you were doing, say, 324 plus 900 and something, let's say 916 just to make it a bit interesting, as soon as I get to the 3 and the 9, I'm going to 12 there, which is okay. The 2 and the 1 gives me a 3, and the 4 and the 6 gives me a 10. You know what, that doesn't work quite as it is, does it? It's definitely not the answer. So this method by itself in your head is maybe not the best method when the numbers start pushing you into double digits. Let's have a look at adjusting and compensating. When I have something like 29 plus 14, this is convenient because that 29 is really close to 30. And it's just easier to add 30, a whole number that rounds off with a 0 on the end, to the 14 than it is to do the 29. So if I just think 30 and 14, well, that's 44. But I didn't actually want to do 30 plus 14, I wanted to do 1 less than that. So I take the 44 that I worked out and take 1 away. And that gets me to 43 without doing any other work there. Now what I've actually done is I've said 30 plus 14, and then I've taken away 1 to get to the 43. If I do the same thing with the subtraction question, I could look at this and say 36 minus 18. Well, 18 is pretty close to 20, so I'll do the easier thing, and in my head I'm saying 36 minus 20 is equal to 16. But hang on, I wasn't really taking away 20, I was only taking away 18. So I need to put 2 back in there, getting me to 18. Another method is to look at doubles and halves. This works particularly well when your 2 numbers are really close to each other. For instance, with 24 and 25, I can look at that and say, well, hang on, 24 double is just multiply each number by 2, 48, and then 1 extra, so 49. Or I could do it from the 25 and say, well, I'll double that and I get 50, and take away 1 to get 49. But you know what? No matter what else you do, you've got to practice. A really good tool for practicing, I think, is just a set of playing cards. You can get the plus and the minus cards as your red and your black, or it doesn't matter which colours you use. And I could use the red cards to go plus and the black cards to go minus, and just practice. Just look at a card, think about what it is, start at 0. If you get a black 10, you might say, okay, I'm up to 10. And you might have a black 7, so now I'm up to 17. And then you could have a red 5 and say, now you've got to do 17 minus 5 is 12. Keep on practicing, keep on practicing. If you use a full deck of cards, just up to 10, not using the suit cards, the picture cards, if you do that, you should get back to 0. And if you don't get back to 0, then you've made a mistake somewhere along the line. This is going to push you both into positive and negative numbers. It's really good practice.